I would like to direct my comments to Mr. Shevchenko. My name is Paula Slier. I'm the Middle East Bureau Chief for RT, for Russia Today. Now, you made the point in your presentation, should anyone with the word press be protected under law? My answer is yes. I'm a journalist with more than 20 years' experience reporting from the front lines of Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, you name it. I want to know that if I fly into your country, your security forces will not arrest and detain me. I want to know that I will not be kidnapped and tortured, as my colleagues have been. Let me remind everybody here that at least 6 Russian journalists have been killed in the past year. And if you can't guarantee me that, I'd like to know that you'll at least give me accreditation. Are you aware that there are 115 Russian mass media outlets that have not been given accreditation? Now, it's accurate. Some Russian journalists are being forced to cross illegally into Ukraine. But what do you want us to do? You don't let us in. You don't give us accreditation. Your forces arrest and beat us up. You make the suggestion that people use the word press or claim to be journalists because this gives us protection. There are repeated reports of Ukrainian security forces deliberately aiming at journalists in the Donbas region. There was one incident just 3 days ago. And I can tell you all from my own experience reporting in Ukraine, particularly in the east of the country, when I was wearing a bulletproof jacket that said the word media on it, the fighters I was with on the front line told me to take off the word press, take off the word media, because security forces would deliberately target me because I'm a journalist. So I don't understand your point about what is the advantage of being a journalist and reporting in Ukraine. You mentioned the Russian actor who pretended to be a journalist. What you failed to mention is that a lot of Russian journalists condemned him and condemned the incident. Now, this is a conference about journalism, and I just want to remind everybody that journalism at its heart is about truth. People have the right to be heard, and in the east of Ukraine, people feel they are not being heard by the Ukrainian networks. They have a right to tell their stories. That is their truth. It might not be your truth, but I, as a journalist, have an obligation to try and tell people's stories, to tell their truths. And the last point I wanted to make is I'm tired of repeatedly hearing the claim that because I work for a Russian network, we are propaganda channels. One person's propaganda is not another person's propaganda. One person's truth is another person's lie. The claim and the word propaganda is so subjective, and every time you use it, you try to whitewash those of us who've chosen, as journalists, with track records, to work in the Russian media, and quite frankly, it's insulting. Thank you.